Shalmali, Kholgade, you lovely lady. How are you doing? Most importantly, how are friends, family, and close ones during this lockdown? Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm doing well, and everyone I know of, including my parents, although we don't live together. My parents live like 10 kilometers away. But you know how it is in Mumbai. Like you can't do that travel anymore. But they're good. Friends are good. Family is good, and God is great. It's good.
And if you're wearing a Ramones t-shirt, you're good. I remember how I got onto the Ramones was uh, I used to listen to U2 as a little boy, and Bono used to keep talking about the Ramones, and he was like, "I went to CBGB in New York City, and this is where the Ramones used to play, and this is Joey Ramone, and this and that." So I'm like, my hero Bono from U2 is talking so much about the Ramones and Joey Ramone. What is this band? And I started listening to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So awesome. Yeah. Let's talk about Regular, the song. It's beautiful. It looks to me this that just like the new hairdo. This is a new Shalbali, and
It
it's a
is.
great hairdo, by the way.
Thank you so much. Actually, to tell you honestly, I think these are like my musical influences that you hear in regular, which I was just so scared to express all this time because I think since I started singing for Hindi films, it became my identity over a period of time. And then it's hard to let people know that, hey, this is also me, and this is what I listen to. And when I make music, I hear it like this. I was just really scared. But then I told myself that if it's not now, then when are you going to do this exactly? And Regular is a song that was born in the lockdown. So I wrote it, composed it, and got it produced with some Sunny MR and shot the little video that we have for it in the lockdown. So it's really true to right now. So I thought that would be a best first song to release, which is like something I'm feeling right now.
When Katy Perry was in town, I was having this conversation with her. I mean, lucky because we're the only international ones. I get to do all these conversations with
Yeah.
all my heroes and popular pop stars. And she was like, one of the most defining moments for her was when her song first played on the radio station, or now, of course, it's a streaming service. And it must be so heartening for you that the DSPs, the streaming services, have all taken to regular so beautifully, and it's available everywhere. It's getting playlisted and things like that, and that must make you very happy.
It does. And it's the first time, right? I mean, I've had like my voice play on a radio station before, but it feels nothing like when your own song that that was, you know, just some words in a diary and then became a recording on your computer. And then now it's playing on a radio station or it's playing in a playlist and people are talking. It is just unparalleled. And I feel so much joy. It's a different joy. It's not a joy that ye meri awaaz hai, wow, that is my voice. It's not only limited to that. Those are my words. Those were my emotions that I put into a song and now it's playing. It's I want to feel this all my life, and so I'm just feeling so enabled right now to do more of this. I mean, thank God that I took this step and released the song.
So the music producer, I mean, I know you've composed it yourself and this and that, but you've collaborated with Sunny, and if I'm not mistaken, you work together in Ruka Ruka also, right?
Yes, yes, we
Talk to
did.
me about him.
So Sunny is actually this song is a lot about the production to me.
It is.
And he was the one who said we should have a drop in it. So the song, when I had programmed it at home to just put down the structure, the songwriting phase did not have any drop in it. But he said that I'm hearing a drop and let's just give it a shot and see. And it worked well because it felt like the song arrived at the drop. And so he is a huge part of the songwriting process, because I don't think songwriting is now limited given the way we compose music. It is not limited to writing words and singing a melody. It is a lot more than that. It's the production, the arrangement, the instrumentation that's involved in it. And Sunny always brings a very unique flavor to anything, whether it's a song like Ruka Ruka, which is basically a band playing, but it's got these minimalistic electronic music production that you can't even hear, but it makes a huge difference when you listen to the separates. And that's what I think brings a lot of magic into anything that I've collaborated with Sunny for. like Ruka Ruka is one. I've sung a lot of his Telugu music in which he composed the music, and I was a playback singer. And that's where we actually hit it off, thinking that, man, I really get your vibe, you get mine, we should do more. So Sunny is a huge part of my life.
It's all about the drop.
Mm,
It
it
is,
is.
isn't it?
It is. It's got a hit.
Yeah, all these record label guys, they do all this research, numbers, data, listening groups, and it's remarkable how we're living in the era of the drop. Yeah, I mean that's the way it is, and musicians
Yeah.
have to adapt to it.
Yeah. True.
Why such a small video is what all your fans are asking and screaming and clamoring for. Why would you
Ah.
release a 4 minute song and then do a 1.5 minute video? It's not fair, Shalmali.
Well, fortunately now we do have a lyrical video in which you can hear the entire song. But I released a 1.5 minute video, which was the idea of the director of this video, Nikhil Mahajan. He directed the video, and he said that we're in the lockdown. We have very limited space to make a 4 minute track look interesting, because we can only do so much given that we have one person who's holding the camera, and we hardly have anyone to play with the lighting, etc. So let's make a crisp 1.5 minute video that looks gripping, is interesting, and then route people to listen to the full track by inviting them, like luring them into the music with that video, since now it's become so important for audio to have a video attached to it. I mean, I get so angry sometimes, that why can we just not listen to music? Why does music have to be visual? But it is just how it is right now. So we said, okay, for all you listeners who need visual stimuli, here is visual stimuli for you. Now go and listen to the full song.
Yeah, it's an important point about teasing and asking them to go and get the audio. So I'm
Yeah.
not about the goss, so I'm not going to ask you any further questions. But is that your partner in the video?
Yes, he is. He is. And I'm so glad that he agreed, because again, we had very
Oh,
limited
sweet.
people to work with. And I said, please, I wrote this for you. And then if you're in the video, it'll just be so nice. And he said, okay, but don't keep too many of my shots. But he's so good looking. Like, look at that profile of his. And he wanted to remove that shot from the video. I said, you don't have a say in the end. So that's it. So yes, that is Farhan, and this is a song that I wrote looking at him, because I think, uh, despite all the fights that we've had, like everybody has in a relationship, I think it's so important to have those fights sometimes, because you see how amazing a person is when you fight with them, and I truly believe that. Like sometimes, like the second verse has the words coming out of you that is not regular, like the words that you're speaking to me right now. You just defeated me in this argument, but I'm so blown away by the words that are coming out of you right now.
Yeah,
So
lovely.
yeah.
Lovely. So, Big Bang Music, this record label you're part of, your reason for signing up in an era, Shalmali, where artists are going independent with their own management team. Why do you feel this was important for you?
I've always wanted to do independent music, despite all the good stuff that happened in playback, because that was never the dream. And every time I met with a label, I always felt like they already had an agenda in mind when it came to what they wanted to see me as. But Big Band Music really asked me, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? How do you want to get there? And we'll do it the way you want. We'll obviously also tell you what is good for you. Maybe not right now, maybe later, etc. But we want to do it the way you want to do it. And I was at that age by then, which is like 2 years back, when I was pretty set in my head as to, I want to be here and I want to take my time getting there. I want to work with these people. This is the idea of music that I have that I want to put out. And I wasn't like, okay, you bring me people to work with, and yeah, I'll do anything. I don't think I am that person. And I didn't want to change that about myself. So I think Big Bang Music really gave me that freedom to just do the music that I want to do.
Okay, now let's have some saliva in that beautiful throat of yours and do regular for us, please.
Sure, sure. I'm just can we just check for
Yeah,
the
sure.
audio once? Because I'm gonna play this really nice guitar unplugged thing, which a friend of mine
It was so beautiful. I saw it on Instagram. It was
Gaurav.
so nice. On Instagram.
Yes, yes. Karan Pandav has played guitar. So I'm just gonna play that and we just check if this is coming through. Ooh.
Yeah.
I got a thing for challenges. Look at us, we are not winning this. Every day we snap. Hook, cross, jab, jab. Just one look and you got me weak. That is your trick, I know you. Look at that face, that is not regular. You are no regular, oh no, no. Look at that face, that is not regular. You are no regular, yeah. Oh, yeah. One day I won't tell you no one day. Got an argument that isn't falling flat. Oh, I got my game face on. So ready to see you fall off. Before I start to know it too, was my face the clue? I know you. What's coming out of you? No, that is not regular. You are not regular. Oh no, no. What's coming out of you? That is not regular. You are not regular. You are not regular.
Thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. Is there a skill that you picked up in lockdown? I mean, like,
What? What's that?
you've been going through video, audio, software, things like that. Any skill you picked up in lockdown? Anything that you didn't do earlier on?
Before you say anything, I'm just gonna say thank you for indirectly complimenting this mix thing that might have happened. I don't even know how that sounded, but
Sounded beautiful. It really sounded nice. Very
because I
nice.
was so unsure about the levels, but you're right. This is such a big ability to, like just conquer right now. And I was so scared in the beginning. I was like, I don't want to do any of these IG lives or like a Zoom thing unless the sound is, true. It's a true sound. It doesn't matter if it's bad singing or any of that, but just as long as what I'm feeling in this moment right now, that translates. And sometimes it just doesn't happen because the levels are so warped,
Yeah.
especially after when you come out of like an age where you've gotten everything that was on your tech rider for a live show, and everything is going as per plan, and suddenly everything is tough, and you're like, mujhe sunai nahi de raha hai, and this needs to be louder and softer. But right now, like, I have sort of started understanding where I need to be when I'm singing and what volume to play the track at. If it's a track, if I'm playing the guitar, should I keep the phone wherever the microphone is, near the guitar or near my voice? If I'm singing a low note, do I go close to it or not? So yeah, that's something I'm figuring out along the way now.
But aloo parathas for dad. That was a nice one, a special gesture. Wonderful. No, when the lockdown gets over, we go into a semi-state of lockdown. I thought it was a beautiful thing. Is that a newly acquired skill, or were your aloo paratha making skills always good?
I cannot explain to you how embarrassed I was before the lockdown that I didn't know how to make anything. Like, okay, chai and Maggie are not counted, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
they're
should
not.
never count those two things. But I couldn't make anything else. But now, like, I'm cooking like a pro. Like, you won't believe it. So Farhan and I, we live together. And Farhan said, the one thing I'll be very sad about when the lockdown ends is that you won't be cooking anymore. And I said, don't worry, baby, I'll still be cooking because I really enjoy this now. So, yes, it's a newly acquired skill and I'm enjoying it. It's meditative. And I knew that it has this quality, but I just didn't know until now that cooking can be just so much more than feeding people and their expressions when they put that first, spoon in their mouths and they're like, that feeling is great. I love cutting vegetables. I love all the scents and the smells, all the ideas that I think of when I'm cooking. So I've realized that when I'm running, a lot of ideas happen when I'm running because I love running. And I think it's the same effect on me when I'm cooking also. So it's great.
And these are what, YouTube videos or books? Where are the recipes coming from? Or mom, you just make a call to her?
So there's mom's recipes also, but Sonia Barton, Cooking Shooking, Reena's Kitchen, uh, and there's this one more Maharashtrian lady. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting her name. Amazing methi se parathe she makes. So these people, I'm going to totally do a post for them saying thank you because their videos are so helpful and what amazing description. Everything that they've done is like for a novice like me, put so much of this, put it on this flame because the flame level is also very important. How high heat, low heat, medium. It's not like ye dal do or bas 5 minute ke baad dusra cheez dalo. So they've really like explained everything in a way that end product is probably very close to what they have made in their kitchen.
Now, I always tell young kids who are trying to get into radio, saying you've always got to give credits before a song plays. Lyric writer, music producer, composer, singer, and you've done that with your cooking. Super, well done. Super.
Gotta happen.
Let's do a bit of a rewind. You were busting some serious dance moves in that Kalle Kalle video. You've been told this many times before. You're such a fabulous dancer. Bosco Caesar's choreography. You really enjoy this thing, don't you? Busting those moves.
Oh God, I'm like a stage person. So what I had told Big Bang, like when you asked me earlier, like why Big Bang, I told them I want to sing and dance on stage. That's my jam. That's the end goal. So whatever music we make has to be something that I can take onto that stage and, do choreography and perform with. And they were like, wow, yes, you want to do this? We'll totally do this. So that is why I think it was important for me to even do that in a music video. And Ruka Ruka, we couldn't do it. It wasn't that kind of song. But Kalle Kalle, we ended up doing it. And then they were like, we'll get Bosco Caesar to do it. And wow, there they were. And Caesar sir did this choreography. And it was not easy. Despite all the dancing that I've done in all this time, I hadn't done that intense choreography that you see there. Maybe for many, it may not be that intense, but for me, when I was learning it, it was very difficult. But some amazing people like Sneha is this amazing dancer who assists Caesar, and she taught me that choreography. So the way people teach sometimes, everything that looks difficult can slowly become something that, you can do with ease. And she did that for me. So I got to dance.
Sorry, you were saying you got to dance, yeah?
I got to dance in the second music video that I did, and the choreography was by one of the greats.
But I'm just curious to know, you fundamentally have a groove, you either you have it or you don't. But did you train? Did you do like a shamak, or are you classically trained as a dancer?
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
So I am trained in Kathak. I've done Kathak for 7 years. And I still sometimes feel like I should just go back and still continue doing Kathak. Because I think when you do Kathak, one really helps with the posture that you keep in general. And I had a very strict teacher. So she would be very particular about lines, which is, so even in ballet, you have a lot of lines, and Kathak also has that. So your posture and your lines and your angles and your attention to fine details becomes, I think, very, very important to you when you look at a dance form. You just don't look at the groove. But there are some things that I couldn't get from Kathak, which is the slouched body posture. So when you're doing like a hip hop thing, you need to go against what you were taught in Kathak, which is like a very straight form. So I realized when I decided the kind of music that I wanted to do, that Kathak was not lending itself to the music that I was trying to do. And the music is what is in the front for me. So I needed to change the dance forms that I'm learning in order to, bring both the worlds together. So I started training with a lot of teachers here, like Shazeb Sheikh is one of my closest friends. He choreographs my live shows also. Karishma Chauhan, Yash Kadam, Donnie from Delhi. So there's a whole bunch of really new youthful hip hop, jazz, choreographers and teachers who I started training with in order to break the form that I had learned in Kathak. So dance has been part of my life, but now it's like taking different shapes and forms, which is great.
And Ruka Ruka, the video that features Apar Shakti Khurana, it went viral. Talk about the Jugaad team and the director and you. Are you buddies filming that particular video? It's actually a very beautiful video. It is.
Thank you so much. It was so amazing working with that team at Jugaad and that guy. So no, I didn't know her before then. I had seen a video of theirs, the Sage Ritviz one.
Yep.
So I was studying at Berkeley the last year, and I used to go for these long runs there. And always on my way back, I used to always run to the end of some park, and then I had to walk back. So on my walk back, I had seen the Sage Ritviz video, and I said, I feel like I'm in this room with them watching this video. Like I feel so intimate with this video. I think Ruka Ruka needs that intimacy. And when I showed it to Gaurav at Big Bang, and he's like, okay, let's contact them. Let's see what happens. And it all, clicked and everything happened. And by the time I was back from Boston, we were like in 2 days going to shoot Ruka Ruka with the guys. So with Dar. So that's where I met Dar. And Dar is so amazing. She's so extempore. She's just like, she met me the day before we shot and said, okay, let's just show me this, like I'm saying this to you, how will you react? And she just looked at me like really strange like that. And she's like, okay, just come tomorrow. Just show up now. We've got this. Like, don't worry about it. Just show up. And everything was just fluid. It was organic. It was in the moment. Even that fight that it starts with.
Yep.
She was basically like, get angry, or like, that is all that she was saying. And then all those things were not rehearsed or like written or scripted. They were just like really, I think it came from a very personal space. Maybe he had some things that he had actually experienced, which is where his dialogues came from, and mine came from like, okay, fine, so I'll leave. You're calling me crazy. So okay, fine, I'll leave then. That's what you want to, So maybe a part of our real, personalities really showed there in that fight.
How many times have men said, get out, and then said, out of the room? No, I didn't mean the house. I meant the room.
No, but I'll get
Sorry,
out of
too
the
bad.
house. And the
Sorry,
women,
too bad.
yeah, too bad. I'll take it to the extreme. I'll get out of the house for you.
There is another song which is dropped, and I'm going to leave you to talk me through that one. I don't know much about it. It dropped on Friendship Day. So is there a particular significance that you dropped it on that particular day? Talk me through the song, music producer, all the works.
Yes, this song is for you, and it dropped on Friendship Day on the 30th. And so happy finally. Some songs, like a lot of people will tell you this backstory of a song which has been on my computer for 2 years or 5 years, 7 years. This song has been on my computer for 2 years. And I was like, why are we not releasing it? Like, what are we waiting for? But, sometimes I don't like to get in the way of releases, because I don't think I have the intellect to know what is the right time, or, I'm not a very good judge of this will work, not work, or, this is the right time. That business acumen I lack.
Join the boat. When people say release the video at 8 p.m. at night or at 8:30, I'm like, okay, tell me what to do.
Yeah, right. Thank you for joining
so
me.
continue.
So we waited this long because I think now in the lockdown, this is a very appropriate song, and I'm glad we waited, because the chorus says, "I'm here for you." And the song, when it's released, when we made this, and it's made with a couple of people, I'll tell you the journey. But the lyric says that even if we don't see each other, or that we are not a very active part of each other's lives, and I have that relationship with my best friend from school, we hardly ever text or speak or anything. But in my heart, if anyone ever asks me, I'm going to say Niyati Bapat is my best friend, and she'll say the same thing, because every time we do meet, it's like no time has ever passed between the last time and this time, and everybody has that friend. But sometimes, it's important to also tell that friend that, hey, I love you, like, I know, I'm just going to say it anyway, and I'm here for you. And this is really a song for friends. So for you was always that. And it makes sense to do it now when we are not seeing our best friends and our close friends. I'm probably doing Zoom calls with them, but it is important to tell them, at least on Friendship Day, because that is the day we celebrate friendship, that I'm here for you. So that's the song. And it started with Rishabh Joshi, whose moniker is Joshi. That's what he goes by. Him and I started working on this song even more than 2 years back. So almost like three and a half years back. And we got like a nice structure. Asmit is, I think, his cousin who has penned the words, because they are Hindi. And then it goes into an English chorus. That's the language of the song. And once we had like a nice structure, I felt like we needed additional like programming production on it, which is when we brought in Sunny again. Here's Sunny again. Sunny is like the go-to person for me. So Sunny has done additional programming. I then felt like I wanted to really bring in that nice Charlie Puth vibe with a lot of like vocal harmony. You know, when Voice Note released, like his album Voice Notes, there's this song that he's done with Boys to Men. And I really love that song. And I was like, I want nice, like, harmonic vocal arrangement on this. And Sunny said, you have to get Arjun Chandy to do that. Arjun Chandy works with Rahman sir and a whole bunch of people. And he sits in Chennai. So I made a trip to Chennai to record and to do those vocal parts. It's only my voice, but his vocal arrangement is so mind-blowing that we did one pass. My flight was about to take off, so I had to go to the airport and catch that flight. So we had to complete it again in the next month. I went back to Chennai and completed the song. So I made two trips to Chennai to do the vocal arrangement on this song. And the song was sitting on my computer for 2 years after that. So can you believe it? Like just that feeling that, man, I really want to put this song out, but what are we waiting for? Because I made these trips and I did this and I got in touch with these people and we all really wanted to release. But sometimes you have to have faith in the people who say that, just put your trust in me. I'll tell you when we're going to put it out. So For You is out now, and these amazing Joshi, Asmit, Sunny, and Arjun Chandy have a huge part to play in how beautiful it sounds.
Come on, let's hear a bit of it.
Yes. I hope that my mix is good this time also. Here we go. ये मैं तेरी रूह में कहाँ ढूंढने चला, वो मुसाफिर तू नहीं जो भटके यूं ही बेवजह, सब तरफ है रास्ते पर मेरा पता वही, you need me now and here I am, सब तरफ है रास्ते पर मेरा पता वही, you need me now and here I am, for you, I'm here for you, oh, 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 you, oh, 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 you, oh, 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 you, oh, 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 oh.
Nice. It's got some old school disco happening there, and I love the. You're right. I love the vocal harmonies. I mean, whatever he's done such a good job of that.
Thank you.
Listen to me. Since you talked about Charlie Puth,
Yes.
you and him share an alma mater. You went to Berkeley.
I heard about this time, like not that I did the full course or anything. I went for just the summer program, but
Okay.
I learned there that he was at Berkeley and he studied. He's a dropout, like John Mayer is
Correct,
also.
John Mayer.
But,
Correct. Mm.
so what? That makes a better PR story, right? That I'm a Berkeley dropout.
Well said. I remember, Ehsan went to Berkeley, and of course, Rahman Saab is associated with Berkeley, and Berkeley has this, exchange program, and the head of Berkeley had come down, and I'd done an interview with him.
Clint, with Clint.
Uh, I've
Oh no,
forgotten his name.
uh,
He's
Mr. Brown, like
yeah,
the main
yeah, the dean or whatever,
dean.
and
Okay.
he was telling me about all these stories of Charlie Puth and John Mayer, and they were residents in the area and things like that. So
Oh.
I was like, man, I have nothing to do with music other than being a radio presenter, but I'd like to go and just matha teko in Berkeley and come back.
Correct. It is like that only. Even I had that feeling, Matha Teko feeling, because when I sat there and then someone was, in the orientations pointed out to that building there is where John Mayer, was staying. And I was like, man, why didn't they give me that building? Because I was staying in the hostel, like the rooming there. And I wasn't put in that building where he stayed. So I was like, damn.
Friyay with Shalmali. Really interesting bunch of musicians that you're working with. I mean, I love you did tributes to Mohit Chauhan, Silk Route, a performance with Asma, an Aretha Franklin song with Shafali Alvarez. Talk me through all these Friyays. And I like that, there's a discussion and there's a performance, so that's nice.
So what I figured is that one, I wanted to collaborate with musicians that I missed playing with. So a lot of the initial people that came on Friday were my friends who I have played with live or I've done a session with, and I wanted to just work with them. So we started like that. And then eventually it started like, I want to also play with you. Someone would like write to me saying, I want to play my instrument with you, I want to sing with you. And I said, why not? There must be so much talent out there that I don't even know of. And that might, tomorrow we might end up writing an original together. And that's when Shrey came on board. There's this amazing fingerstyle guitar player, Shrey. I think he's in Hyderabad. And he came on a live saying, I'm going to just play something. And I just added him. You know how you sometimes just add your audience to a chat. And he came on and he played amazingly. And on that chat, I asked him, hey, do you want to do a Friday with me? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So I was like, okay, private chat, we'll discuss which song. So we just, we decided to do Zara Zara, which was his pick. He said, I can play Zara Zara. Should we do that? I said, yes, do it. And then we put that out and I realized that, man, here's like a place where we don't have to talk about celebrities because we already know what happens in their lives. There's so many interviews and stuff. Let's talk about like people who people don't know about. And there's like talent out there that everybody's stories are so different. What they got influenced by, the reason why they're doing this, what they do during their day is so, it's interesting to me. When I listen to people like Shrey tell me that I wake up very late, I sleep very late, it's more interesting to me than someone who already, is accomplished says that. So I thought that would be interesting for people also to know. So now we even did a contest with singers and we are announcing, or I think we already have.
You
We
did.
already
Yeah,
have.
yeah. I remember you
We
did.
have announced this contest for instrumentalists and producers. I'm going to put up, I put up this vocal track of mine and inviting producers to just reharmonize the song or just play their instrument or produce a track behind it as a collaboration for Friday. So yes.
Nice. Very, very nice. Listen, there's a lot of talk on IPRS charging singers to sing covers, even digitally. If you haven't seen the full document, you don't know the details, please don't comment on it. But just your feeling on people going out there and singing cover versions and being charged for it.
I honestly haven't heard, read the entire article because when I saw the heading, I got so dejected because I was like, do I want to read bad news? So I haven't read it, but I know the gist of it. I guess, I mean, if you're performing someone else's music live for a show in which you're supposed to pay like a blanket fee to IPRS, which then gets disbursed, I hope, to whoever it needs to, is fair because you're getting paid for that. on like a social media platform like an Instagram. We are not doing anything ticketed, not making any money out of it, just maybe earning followers or earning like that. So I'm really conflicted in my head if this is fair, because either you earn, like right now to me, earning is in how my social media expands in this period when I'm not really making money. But when my social media expands, I get brand associations to do, and that is a source of income for me. In those, if I'm making money, if I'm asked to share that with for royalty, I get that. I would do it, and I we should do it. But I don't know how I'm going to be able to sustain my life if I'm having to shell out money when I'm not making any.
Correct.
So
Yeah, so there have to be more discussions. There have to be more corollary documents, and the industry has to get more involved. So, but that's a fair point you've made, saying that if there is revenue to be shared, then it must be shared. But if there is no revenue to be shared, then one needs to look into this rather than putting out a blanket document. So it's really a fab answer. So what's on your phone apart from regular and for you? What are you listening to? Anything exciting that you picked up that you think is cool?
my most favorite artist right now is Dhruv Vishwanath, and he's
He's
Indian.
so cool. The
Oh,
Delhi guy. The
oh.
Delhi guy. Yeah.
So I was doing this concert for IIT on concert again. I'm calling it concert. It was hardly a concert. It was on Instagram Live, but the lineup was Raghav Niatal, again amazing musician, Dhruv Vishwanath, and I, and there was another artist whose name I'm forgetting, but again amazing artist. And that's when, like that morning of that show, I was like, let me just put a Spotify playlist and like listen to Dhruv Vishwanath stuff. And I was like, is this an Indian artist? Let me see his Instagram. Is this an Indian artist? And I was like, oh my God, I have to get in touch with him. So that day I got in touch with him. And I was like, please, let's do a song together. Let's like work together. I want to work with you. And he's so kind. He said, sure. And then we did like a video call. We exchanged some music. He played me some of his stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, how amazing is it that we're living in a time where people from India are putting out English music. It's quality stuff. It's not something that is substandard. It's amazing writing. It's amazing music. And we're getting to, strike a conversation and collaborate maybe in future. So Dhruv Vishwanath is on that list. I in general listen to a lot of Beyonce and Anderson .Paak, and I love Solange's music a lot. I think Solange's music is quite like in the forefront as far as how a regular sounds. Like to me, it's got like that trippy, vibe to it. So yes, those guys are always there on my playlist.
Any shows you binge watched video wise? Are you a TV person at all?
So oh God, why have I? Okay, I watched Dark. I watched Dark, and the first two seasons were amazing. The third season, I sort of started doing other things while watching the show, because how when you sort of like slowly start losing a little interest, and maybe I start knitting. So my knitting is like something I do while watching TV. If I just need to like hear the dialogue, but I don't need to look at it. And I started knitting while watching the third season of Dark because I felt like it was very slow. Like it was confusing, but slow. I don't know how they managed.
What do you knit? I mean, Bombay doesn't have sweater weather, or do you just knit scarves?
What I'm knitting right now. So I okay. Let me. Can you see all that stuff there, like the color?
I can see those wool, right? What is it?
It's only wool. It's cotton.
Yeah, cotton.
And it's like viscose. It's a lot of stuff. Like it's a lot of fabric. I'm a huge avid knitter. So I'm making this cushion cover.
Oh, this is so nice. Oh, this is so nice.
For Sunny, actually. For Sunny's house. And because his house is just beautiful. And I feel like, I can add some color to his already beautiful house. So I'm knitting a cushion cover for him since the lockdown started almost. No.
This is so beautiful. This is so old school. This is what our grandmothers used to do for us. I knitted you something. It's so personal as opposed to picking something off a shelf and buying stuff. So cool.
My manager got married in the lockdown, and I had like this little pouch, which I thought would be, which I knitted. So I gifted her that. I said, I will buy a present for you, but right now I want to give you something that I've made in which you can keep your jewelry. So I have gifted her a knit pouch, which is amazing.
Shalmali Kholgade, knitter, singer, composer, an all-round good person. How often are these releases going to happen? I mean, have you put a timeline or a roadmap together, or you're just saying whenever I get something, like something's been lying for 2 years in the case of For You, or something
Yeah.
that is an inspiration as far as regular is concerned, or a collab with Dhruv, I'll take it as it comes, or is there a roadmap?
So I'm such a planner, but this lockdown has taught me not everything can be planned. Like how life just suddenly just said, no, no, you can't get out of home now. You just have got to be like this. So no, I'm not planning, and I'm gonna be okay not planning. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with the moment. But I've gotten really excited. Like after I released regular, I'm like, this song next, that's this, and Big Bang is like, hey, we can't do
Hold
it.
your horses.
But like I'm unleashed right now, and it's a great feeling because it's okay if it has to get completed and sit on my computer for a while, that's fine, but I want to go with this rhythm of making, and I
Yeah.
found that. Yeah.
Super stuff. This was so much fun. Have a wonderful day ahead, okay? And take care of yourself. Bye bye.
Bye.